Registered representatives offer securities through Securities America, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Financial advisors offer advisory services through Securities America Advisors, Inc. Forest Hills Financial, Inc. and Securities America are separate entities. This is the Keeping Your Money Show with Jamie Westenbarger and Bart Steindler.
Good morning, welcome to the Keep Your Money Show. Jamie Westenbarger, joined as always by my esteemed colleague, the illustrious Mr. Bart Steindler. Bart, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. It's another $1 million morning in Grand Rapids.
One more week, less than a week to March. Spring is approaching, maybe a little.
Yeah.
March Madness right around the corner.
Yeah. You know that phrase I always use about $1 million morning?
Yes.
It's something that it really has nothing to do with money, but more like attitude.
Uh-huh.
And I got that from a group from a camp that I went to as a youth. And last night they had a gathering of alumni from that camp in Grand Rapids here.
Oh, that's cool.
So if any of them are listening this morning, hope it's $1 million morning for you, and that brings back good memories.
That's kind of cool. This is Keeping Your Money Show, where we cut through all the bulls, the booyahs, bells, whistles, honks, and horns to get you the information that actually helps you move towards retirement. Got a great show on deck today. We're going to talk about 6 key value propositions a good financial advisor can provide. 7 ways Medicare is changing for the better. That's a good idea. Better in 2019. Roth 401k versus Roth IRA. What is the difference? And HSAs. Are you taking advantage of the triple tax break that a health savings account can offer you? If you're not, you should be. In a nutshell. Here, I just saved you. You don't even have to listen to the last segment. You should do that.
Yeah. But how will they know specifically
They're not going to.
what those triple tax breaks are
They're not
unless
going to.
they listen to the show?
That's right. It's the only way you're going to know. If you missed any part of the show, though, you can find it on our website. Just go to keepingyourmoney.com. You can also find it on any of our podcast partners, iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Just search for The Keeping Your Money Show. If you'd like to contact the show, we'd love to hear from everybody out there. You can give us a call anytime. Toll-free number is 888-98-MONEY. That's 888-986-6639. We don't take calls on the air, but someone does answer the phone 24 hours a day. And Bart or myself will get back to you to see how we can help. You can also email us, info@keepingyourmoney.com, and we do respond to those emails personally. So, now all that's out of the way, let's talk about these value propositions because, you know, we live in a world now, Bart, where sometimes we simplify things a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. In the last 10 years, I think there's been a simplification of the financial advisor to the point of, why would I pay 1% in fees when I can buy blah, blah, blah for this really cheap cost, right?
Right.
And it really kind of drills down the idea that the only value an advisor brings to the table is what their cost is. But the reality is, you know, I think we've kind of been simplified in what we do to the point where it's not just about asset allocation. It's just not about picking investments or choosing where your money is going to go. There's really so much more to the overall equation of what a good independent financial advisor can do for their clients.
Yeah, maybe an analogy would be, you know, going to a restaurant where they come and they take your order and they make recommendations and they have a chef that prepares dishes that are special to that day and that season on a weekly basis, so
with
that there's
ingredients that are locally farmed or
right, as opposed to going to the place where you plop down $6 and there's a buffet that's 3 aisles long and has everything you can eat. Okay,
it's not a horrible analogy, I've got to say. Yeah, and I mean, I think we need to stop looking at just cost, but value, right? What value does something bring to you? Automobiles, there are very cheap automobiles out there, yet not everyone drives them. Sometimes people drive them because that's what they can afford, but there are reasons to purchase other things.
Or maybe they drive that car because the only need they have for a car is to get from home to their office, which is 12 miles away and back. And other than that, they have no need for a car. Well,
Right.
there's no sense getting a $65,000 SUV with guidance systems on it and cameras all around it and everything like that. You just need a simple car to get to work and back.
Right. So there's a financial advisor. His name's Mitch Anthony. He calls himself a financial life planning pioneer, which is probably a little wordy, but but I like that he broke down kind of these 6 value propositions, these 6 value added things that a good financial advisor really does bring to the table. And I thought we could talk about them a little bit. So the first one he says is organization. I would say a good majority of the people that walk through the door at Forest Hills Financial to talk to us about what they need to do in their financial life, organization is one of their biggest issues, one of the biggest things they're coming in for. It's not that they don't know how to invest or they don't know how to put money into their 401k or whatever. It's that they need assistance in kind of bringing order to their entire financial life, right? We all tend to be financial collectors. We've got this 401k. There's this one friend of ours that worked in the business for a while, and he sold us this one thing. And then there was that lady at church that was doing that thing. And then, your brother-in-law was in the business for a while, so you moved some money over there. And then you got a new 401k, and you got your old 401k. And we just have all these collections of things, but they don't necessarily even go together, right? And so bringing kind of order to all of that and also making all of them work together. How is your insurance, your estate planning, your taxes? How is all of that coordinating with what you're doing to invest to get you to the place that you want to get to?
Kind of another analogy, it's like you have a bunch of pieces from a jigsaw puzzle and you're trying to put them together, but they're from different puzzles, so they don't really fit together.
Right.
So we're trying to
make an ugly puzzle.
It's going to make an ugly puzzle, and it's going to be really frustrating the further into that puzzle you get, trying to make it into a nice picture. And all of these pieces of your financial life need to be coordinated and need to be part of a plan. And once you've got that done, and once you've got that plan and you're on your way, it relieves a lot of the stress out of your life. We've talking to somebody recently, and really they had all the pieces there, but they didn't know how much money they could spend.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's a perfect example. I need to know these are the assets. This is our budget. I need to know, can we spend another $10,000-$20,000 a year?
Right.
Or if we do that, are we going to be okay? Well, how do you figure that out?
Well, and a perfect example of that is you look at, like, in my garage, I have a very impressive toolbox that I've collected over the years, okay? I have no idea how to actually do anything with most of those tools, okay? My grandfather was a woodworker in a stained glass blower. I have some of his tools. My dad did a lot of woodworking. I have some of his tools. I cannot make any of those tools do what those men could make those tools do, okay?
Yes.
You may have all the tools. That doesn't mean you have any idea how to build a table in your garage, right? And it's the same thing. Sure, you have all the investments under the sun out there, but if you don't know how to organize that together with the proper car insurance to protect you if there's a car accident and the proper estate plan to make sure things are carried out the way you want to, then it's going to be very difficult to succeed in what you're wanting to succeed in. And I think the next one feeds right into that too, and that's accountability. It's very easy to slide a little on your financial commitments, right? Retirement's 30 years away. I know I should put 15% away, but I think I'm going to put 8 this year because I really, really, really want to go on that vacation for spring break, right? Not that a financial advisor is the supervisor or the parent, but a lot of times we're in a position to remind you of what your commitments to yourself were. You told me by the time you were 50, you wanted to be putting 15% of your income away, and we're only at 12. Just want to bring your attention to that, bring you back to the center of what you promised yourself you were going to be doing.
And here again, you can be an educator, which is another one of the propositions that are here, and say, look, if you're going to make a decision to put 8% away instead of 15% away, this is the difference it's going to make when you decide to retire and want to draw income.
Sure.
Okay. Now, if you're comfortable with that, that's fine. That's your decision. It's your life. But I don't think a lot of people realize what a big difference that is if you're putting 8 instead of 15 multiplied over a period of years to what you're going to be able to draw in retirement. And if they really understand what that number is and what that looks like, I think that makes it easier for them to make these decisions now, knowing that this is going to be the result in the future.
Well, and I think that flows really well into any kind of decision you make, right? A good financial advisor helps you with accountability on a number of things. Pretty much anyone out there that would be a client of ours or that's saving for retirement, we can pretty much all go buy any car that we want because, I mean, let's face it, the monthly payments on cars are pretty reasonable nowadays. Does that mean you should? You know, is a $900 lease payment on that BMW really a great idea? Well, your financial advisor can again bring you back to the center of the conversation and say, you know, if you had a $500 payment on a Toyota, there would be $400 a month going into your investments. And you already know that. But now let's extrapolate that. And what does that actually mean? Well, this $400 a month going into your investments instead means X amount of dollars, you know, when you retire. How bad do you want that Mercedes or that BMW over the Toyota? Well, not that bad.
Yeah.
That Toyota looks pretty good right now.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, so again, making you understand those numbers, you know, realizing what the accountability of what your commitments to yourself are. When we come back, we're going to talk about objectivity and some of the other value propositions that a financial planner can really bring to your life that is beyond the fee. It's beyond the asset allocation. It's more than just designing where the investments are and getting you a better return maybe than what you got on your own. All that more right here on the Keeping Your Money Show.
The ups and downs of a roller coaster are fun for some people, but maybe too nerve-wracking for others. The same is true for the ups and downs of the stock market. If your palms sweat when the market fluctuates, it may be time to reevaluate your investment choices. The ride to your financial future shouldn't keep you awake at night. Call the Keeping Your Money Show at 1-888-98-MONEY to get off the roller coaster and onto solid ground.